Hi guys, it's Trish. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making a memory wire bracelet. We're going to be using the mint chocolate chip mini bead mix from Jesse James Beads. This is their ice cream line, which is really cool. If you're interested in picking this up, I do have a link in my description box. And also we're going to be using a heavy-duty memory wire. Now this is all that I had left on my heavy-duty memory wire roll, so I just have it out here because I usually just work on the roll as I go, because then that way I can see, you know, as I go how long I want it, and different things come into factor. So this is about 5 loops, but again, that's all that I had left on my heavy duty, so we'll just use this. Some 26 gauge wire, some different fibers. This is just some ribbon and some cotton lace. I'm thinking this is another fly by the seat of my pants here, and this is how I like to design, so I've grabbed some of these because I think they'll really be complementary to the bead mix. Tool wise, we have our tweezer pliers, or flush cutters, memory wire cutters, and our memory wire pliers. Now, don't ever, and you may have heard this 100 times, guys, but don't ever use your regular pliers on memory wire. Okay, there's a reason that memory wire cutters were invented. This is stainless steel, this is very heavy, and it will ruin your flush cutters. Even as far as your tools, your round nose pliers, things like that, you're better off using the actual memory wire plier. Okay guys, so let's get started and see what we can come up with here. Let me just set our tools back there a little bit, our materials. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting a loop on the end of my memory wire. Now to do this, you want to make sure when you're using the memory wire plier, you want to take your memory wire down to the base of the plier. Don't ever turn it out here, because you can see mine is kind of, and I don't know when that happened, it's kind of askew. Not too much, but a little bit when you open it. You can kind of see. But, you know, someone had used it and used it incorrectly. They used it up by the tip, and that will bend your pliers. So make sure you're down by the base of your memory wire plier, and then you're just going to hold on to the very end of it. There's not going to be anything sticking up from that, okay? Just very flush with your with your memory wire plier. And then you're just going to give it a turn, and it is tough. It's tough wire, so, you know, it might take a little bit of effort, but basically that's it. We're just making a loop on the end, and this is just so our beads don't fall off, etc. Okay, that gives us a little bit of a place to start. So we have our loop there, and again at the end here we can design or even put a charm on the end of this just to have a dangle. It looks really cute. So getting started here, basically I'm just going to start stringing beads. Put some beads on first, and then decide how I'm going to work in my fibers. Okay, so I'm just going to get the very end of this memory wire, and I have no rhyme or reason when I do this, and I tell you what, it turns out so much nicer to me if you just kind of, again, fly by the seat of your pants. If you are picking meticulously and taking all this time, yeah, you can do that, but to me it's much more fun if you can just go with it and choose, you know, randomly of what you want to use. So let's start with some beads here. So you can just watch me as I string these on. There is no rhyme or reason to this. We're just kind of gonna put some different beads on. These are really pretty rundowns. Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. Oh, love that. And again, just going with it. Let's do a bead cap on the end of this one. And we're just going to scooch our fingers down a little bit and let those beads fall. So then we can put some more beads on. let's see, what are we doing? I'm randomly picking, but I'm also looking to make sure that I don't get too much of the same thing in one spot as well. So, and then we'll put one of these little bead caps. I know it's hard to see, guys. But basically, it's just stringing over, putting your beads on over the end of the memory wire. Okay, so that's what we have so far. All right. Let's put one of these rondelles on, and I just kind of keep scooching it down, if that's an official term, as we go here. So and those little rondelles will even fit on there. I don't know if these spacers will. Yep, they're all fit on there. Very cool, very cool. Let's see, let's put, yeah, just don't make it too hard on yourself. It's much funner if you just kind of go with it, guys. And I do apologize, my throat is a lot better, but it is still sore and my sinuses are messed up. So please forgive me as I go here if I kind of sound odd, and I do apologize. Okay, so let's put, what do I want to put on next? How about one of these floral bead caps? These are so cool. Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. Is that not the coolest? And it's all AB finished on the top. Really cute. And let's put a little brown one for the middle. And let's start doing some wrapping of the fibers. Oh, I'll probably have to bead ream that one. That one's a little snug. Alright. Alright, that one went on. And we're just going to take these and we're going to push them the whole way down to the end of where we are here, so we can wrap our fibers in the right spot. So we're going to push this the whole way down to our loop. Oops. Yeah, he's not too happy about being on there, I don't think. It's going, but I don't know. That's cracking, but hey, this is life. So we're gonna slide him back off the rondelle that we just put on, guys, because it's breaking up. So be careful. If you think that it fits, sometimes it will not in the end, because as you go around the loops, it can be a little harder for those small beads to get around those loops. So we're just going to go back here. Excuse me again, guys, I'm sorry. And just wind these on down. Just taking my hand and just winding it down to the end. Okay, almost there. Alright, so there's our beads that we have so far. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of my 26 gauge. This piece that I have right here is 24 inches. I figured that was a very good place to start, but it depends on how much fiber you want to attach as well. So what we're going to do here, let me turn this way so I can hold these back. We're going to take our 26 gauge wire across the memory wire in front of the beads. And we're going to leave ourselves a little bit of an end here, and we're going to do about 3 or 4 wraps snug around this memory wire so we can get this and don't get it all messed up in your memory wire, how I did there. So we're going to do 3 or 4 wraps here just to, and make sure you're keeping it down toward the end. It doesn't have to be excessively tight, but you do want it to be snug there. 3 or 4 wraps around your memory wire just to kind of get a good base. Alright, and there's our 4th one. And I'm just going to take my tweezer pliers and just kind of put these together here, all these wraps, and make sure it's snug again with against my beads. And then all you're going to want to do, what I usually do is take, excuse me, my fiber, lay it down on top of my memory wire, just like so. And I leave a little bit of an end because just like with the wire, it gives you something to hang on to, okay? So we are on top, so we're going to bring this around. This wire, again, everything's shifting on you, so the first few times around, you're going to have a little bit of a rough go with the fabric. But once you get it on, once you get it secured, it should stay for you. So get back down there, guys. Stop fighting me. Okay. So here's our ribbon going across, and I'm just going to kind of pinch that so it fits nicely around the memory wire. And I'm going to bring my 26 gauge around, holding everything snug. Ooh. Get a wrap or two on that just to kind of get us holding on to it. Get down there. All right. There's two. Let's do a third. Okay, so we have a good, it's holding on well, excuse me, to the wire now. Okay, you can see. So now I'm just going to keep going with the same process, guys. Just kind of wind it around. I'm going to turn it this way actually to work with it now. And I'm still keeping that end on the wire because again, that's a good gripper for you if you need it. And I'm just going to bend this down over top of the memory wire. And I'm not going to do them real close now because I want to be able to see the fabric or fibers that I'm using. Okay, and if you put too much wire around it, it just doesn't look nice. So here's another one, and we're spreading those out now, guys. You can see I've got one around. And then same thing, our wire over the top, and I'm going to scooch down with my fingers and hang on to that last wrap that we made, okay? And then I'm going to do another time around, keeping that fabric around the top. Okay, just the same as you go. Straighten that wire out there. I'm gonna do another wrap. And the nice thing about doing it this way, then once you get so many wraps on, you can trim your fabric, put some more beads, add a different kind of fabric or material or ribbon or sari silk, whatever you like. I did not, usually I'm a sari silk person, but I did not have any sari silk that coordinated with the bead mix here, so we're just gonna keep going along. And now what I'm gonna do here is I want to check, because I can see my beads are shifting a little bit down here, so I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna slide this back down so this is all snug here again. Okay, just watch it as you go. Back to the same thing, grasping onto the last loop that we made and pulling your ribbon down over the top of the memory wire. Sorry if I went off there, guys. Just want to make sure you can see this whole process. Let's see, we've got about that much. Let's do a little wee bit more, and then we'll go back to our beads. As you can see, really the hardest part is beginning the fibers, kind of getting a grasp on them so they'll stay on your memory wire for you. Okay. Whoop. Okay, so that's what we have so far, guys. with the beads. Get this other memory wire out of the way for you. And then we were wire wrapping the ribbon on. So let's do a couple finish wraps here at the end of this, because we're going to call this part of the fiber done. And we're going to move on to some more beads. And you can just build this as you go, you know. Find a piece of leather that you like. You can wire wrap that on or slide it on over if it's hollow, you know. Just make it your own. So I'm going to go around this once, twice, 3 times at the end. Okay. And then I'm going to cut this. I'm going to leave a little bit of an end on it because I like mine to kind of be boho looking. I like some length on the ribbons at the end just to kind of give it some character. Okay, and then we're going to trim this wire that we were working with. We're going to flush cut that against your memory wire, just like so, and then press that end down in there. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to continue stringing our beads on. So we'll go back to the end of this and continue with some more beads. Let's see. These beads are just luscious. I just love them. They have, all the mixes have such beautiful colors in them. And mermaid beads. Gotta love that, guys. And let's see, with that, let's put a turquoise. And again, guys, just make it you. Make it the one-of-a-kind piece that you love. Okay. Another one of these gorgeous spacers or rhinestone beads. Let's see. Let's do one of those. You can see how I'm going so far. We're just going to fly by the seat of our pants. Whoops! Almost dropped that. Oh, I did drop it. Hang on, guys. Grab it. Okay, I was just using one of those barrel spacers again, which are really cool looking. Okay. Alright. See how much further we want to go. Let's put a pearl. I don't think we put a pearl on yet. Hopefully it'll fit over this. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to wind these down, see what I have, what it looks like against my fabric, or my ribbon that I applied. Ooh. And you will find, guys, this stuff gets tangled on. Be careful when you're untangling it, that it doesn't bounce back and hit into your fingers, because that really hurts. Just speaking from experience. So, okay. So, we have some more beads on there. I'm going to hold this back so you can see. There's another section of beads. I think I'm going to do a few more beads to make this section just a little wee bit longer. And then we'll try our other ribbon or fabric that we have here. Let's see. Let's put another one of those. Yeah, this mix is just gorgeous. Spacer and a rondelle. If I'm out of your screen, I do apologize, guys. I just get into these projects. But right now, we're just feeding beads onto the memory wire. Put one of those. And another rondelle. And let's do a mermaid bead. Okay, push these down again. And here we are, tangled again. Easily done when you're working with memory wire. Very easily done. Okay, so we're gonna push this next section up. Okay, I'm liking that length. So let's see that. Can you see that, guys? Where we are there? So now I'm going to take my wire, and this is just the rest of the piece that I had there. You can always cut more and add it. And I'm going to push my beads back here so they're snug, and do the same thing where I'm coming around 3 or 4 times just to kind of snug the wire in place. Okay, make sure you're pulling it snug and holding on to that end there, guys. That does make a big difference. Okay, so we have 4 times. All right, and we stopped it here so we can come over top when we lay our fabric down. Do you see where that's going? That makes it a lot easier. Okay, just gonna take some of this lace that I have and let the end stick out like we did with the ribbon. We're gonna lay it over top, and you see how I just kind of will put my fingers around it like so, just to kind of make sure it's in the right place. And then I'm going to wrap the wire around to kind of snug this in. Now remember, when you're first putting the end of your fabric on, it tends to spin, it tends to move around. That's normal. Just kind of keep it snug with your fingers as you're going, and that'll help you get it secured there. And it's hard, I mean, to keep all the rings and to keep fabric straight and the wire going around. It's a process, but well worth it. Okay, so we got 2 there. Let's do 1 more. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing. We're going to hold that material there. I'm gonna turn it around because it makes my life a little easier when I do it that way after I secure it. Okay, and I'm going to pull that fabric down over top of that wire, and I'm going to wrap. And remember, these are going to be a little bit, the loops are going to be further apart now, so then that way you can see the fabric. Okay, and we're going to go around here, pulling snug as you go, pulling your fabrics down over top, your material, your ribbon, and making a loop around and coming down so you have some space between those loops. And as you go, move down and hold on to the next loop. Okay, lay over top, roll it around with your wire. Okay, and look how cute that's looking on there. Really nice. I love it. I love using different fabrics and tactile objects on something that isn't necessarily meant to have that kind of feel to it. It just brings it to a whole nother level, I feel like. Okay, so we'll same thing, holding this loop back here, bringing it around, leaving some space there. I'm going to do a little bit longer of an area than we did here, just to kind of give it a little bit of interest. I'll just probably use to the end of my wire close to it, so then that way I've used that piece up. Okay, and I'm trying to keep these out of the way, these back wires. It's a challenge, but you can do it. Takes a lot of coordination, guys, and all of you have it, I'm sure. So let's do that. All right. Another time around. Let's see how long we're getting. Almost there. Over the top. Squeeze it down over the top. And wrap around. Further. I really like this one, this material, so I really want to put a nice section of it on. And I'm sure that you guys could pick up, if you don't have like some materials laying around or some ribbons, you can always go on JessieJamesBeads.com and pick up some of their fairy silk. They have it in gorgeous colors. You could put that on. That would be just beautiful on here. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna wrap around 3 times to finish the end, like I did on the other one. 2. And these are closer together, guys. Remember, you're just trying to make a strong connection point there for the end, okay? And we'll squish those together. That is a technical term I use, squish. So, all right, so we've got that. I'm going to trim the ribbon, leaving a little bit on the end because I like the way it looks. Then we're going to trim the wire on that piece, and we're just going to push that in so that doesn't irritate anyone's skin when they're wearing it. Alright, so now I can get a good look at this, and I want to see, okay, how much more, you know, material, how many more beads. And I think really, by the looks of it, I'm going to finish it out with, let's see where the end is here, probably 3 loops. Alright. So here's my end, and we're going to just kind of take and push everything that way too to make sure that all of the beads are snug here on the end. Go good there. Okay. And we're just kind of pushing everything around, snugging it up. We're going to trim this other wire as well that we started with on both sides. Trim that a little closer. Alright, and then just press that down. And then the wire that we started with on our other ribbon. Oh, we already took care of that, didn't we, guys? See that? Short-term memory. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the wire because I can see now I want to finish it off with beads. So I'm going to give myself, let's see, that's only going to give us 2. Let's go right to here. I think that's what I'm going to do, but we shall see. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more room by cutting those other links off. You can see now all I have to deal with is this wire. And you can cut from the beginning the loop amount that you want. That's fine. You know, I just like to, you know, decide as I go, because then that way it gives me a little bit more freedom, you know. So now we're just going to string some more beads on. Okay. Just as we go here, let's put some spacers in. I love these. I know I keep saying that, but I can't help it, I do. some of our chocolate colored squares. There's some really pretty swirl beads. Some more spacers. Metal makes everything just pop so much better. It just does definitely make magic. It just makes all of your colors pop out beautifully. Okay. Go. Push those around. Oh, we're getting there, guys. That's looking good. Really like that. Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? So let's put a mermaid bead and a barrel bead, a tiny blue, and a tiny brown, if I can get that to go over the wire. No. Let's just kind of avoid those, I think, because of what happened. I don't know if it'll, I just popped one on as I said that. Okay, that one went well. It must just been the hole in that wasn't as good. Wasn't as wide, I should say. Not as good. But. All right. Little bead cap. And I'm gonna put that on the end because I love those. Where are we? Let's do another blue bead cap. Brown. There you can see, guys, that's how we're going so far. Oh, I love those colors. Just love them. And see, and our loop is here, our beginning loop. So you can look at that and say, well, do I just want like 2 strands? No, I don't. But you could do that for sure. It just gives you like the 2-strand look, but we're gonna continue and use our beautiful beads here. That mermaid bead. Let's do a rondelle. And turquoise, and another rondelle. And as I'm doing this, as I'm putting these on, guys, I'll go and I'll push them around so I can kind of see exactly where I'm at on my piece. And then I'm also making sure that my materials are tight against each other. So I'm going to scooch this one up a little bit. Scooch this one up a little bit. Okay. Making sure it's all snug. Whoops, I lost one. Just making sure it's all snug there. Alright. Let's put our rondelles back on the bracelet. And our turquoise and another rondelle. And I think what I want to do, add a few more beads, and then I have an idea in my head we're gonna try, okay? So bear with me, we'll see how it goes. Let's put that one there. So I'm thinking I want to take my ribbon and kind of tie it on to my bracelet going down here, okay? Will it work? I really don't know, guys, but we're gonna try it. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I want a little bit more flow to it. I want some more ends. I like the way, you know, it's moving. So let's take some ribbon here and we're just gonna tie it in the knot there, and then tie another knot just to make sure we stay. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take this underneath, take this one through, and see how that looks. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's see how this builds, okay? Because I think I'm gonna like the look of it. So we're going underneath the wire and through the ribbon and pulling. Kind of cool, right guys? I don't know. Let's just keep going and see how it's making like a, I don't know even what kind of knot that is, but it just looks really cool. Don't be afraid to try things, you know, when you're working on stuff. What's the worst that can happen? You just have to cut it apart and start anew. So I'm just tying this on randomly as I go down here because I want a more tactile look to it. And you can even leave like some loops. So I'm leaving a loop there. Okay. And I'm gonna snug this on nice and tight. I might even take my pliers and just kind of push down on that. And then I'm gonna take it on the outside again. Put it underneath the memory wire and through the ribbon. Okay, and that's leaving like a loop on this side. Oh yeah, I'm digging that, guys. Okay, so then we're gonna go on this side and go under and through the loop. That didn't work well. Let's put it through that loop. Oops, get a little closer here so you can see. Okay. And I have to tell you guys, I'm not a structured designer. I'm not a structured maker. I like the pieces I make to have movement and life. So it may not be perfect looking, but it appeals to my eye, and it's that's how I enjoy creating. So if you do, well, then you definitely want to stick around to this channel because that's what a lot of it is like. And now we have our loops up there. I'm just putting some knots on as I go down here, pushing everything up to kind of give it a real pretty look. I'm just going around the memory wire through the loop of the ribbon and snugging down around the memory wire through the loop, snugging down. Okay, how are we doing? Things getting nice and snug there. Do a few more of these. Okay, and through the loop. Look how cool that looks. That just kind of gives you a really tactile feel to your piece, I think. Okay, we're gonna snug this one down here and do a few more, and then we're gonna add some beads on the very end, I think. Very cute. And we'll go this direction and around and through the loop. Okay, one more. Okay. Tighten that down, and I'm going to wrap around one more time here and just do like a couple knots to secure this in place. Make sure everything's pushed nice and snug. Just secure that in place. And I'm just using my pliers to kind of tighten that down there, guys. And what you could do, you could also take a piece of wire on the end if you didn't want it to move at all and just wrap it around, but I'm good with that. So we're gonna cut this piece, string a few more beads, and do a little touch-ups here, and I think we got it, guys. I think we got it. So let's do our sparkly beads. A chocolate bead. Bead cap. A small turquoise rondelle. A spacer rondelle. See what else do we have here, guys. What do I want to put? A mermaid. Okay. Another rondelle spacer. If I can get that on the end there. Let's try another one. Okay. Rondelle spacer. Another one of the turquoise. And a couple of the small brown rondelles. Since they're going to be on the end here, I think they should be okay. Do three of those, and then we can kind of gauge then what we need to trim to make our circle at the end. So that's what we have so far, guys. Looks like we do have a wire there to cut that was hiding on us. So looking at this, I think I want to leave myself about the width of my thumb there to roll into a loop. Okay, you can see that on the end. And I'm just going to take my memory wire trimmers in there, put my finger over it, and snip that off. And so we have about that much wire, guys. And then I'm going to take my memory wire pliers, again, down at the base. Excuse me, wrong end. Down at the base, right at the tip. And then we're going to roll. Now, you don't have to just do one loop. If you see, like, we have a little bit more room there, put a few more rolls in it. It looks cute, I think, you know. You could even go up on this end and do that so it's looking the same for you. And just I'm gonna roll that way. And let's see if we're snug, because I like my memory wires bracelets to be nice and snug. We're gonna do a little bit more of a roll here. I think we're good. Let's do this little bit here. And we're gonna go in and trim our ribbons to look pretty. And now, first off, guys, you see this end of this lace material that we use, like this cotton lace. You can leave that like that, or you can go in, if you like the look of the fray, which it doesn't bother me, but you can go in then and trim them. And there's a thing called fray check, and you can get it at the sewing section in any one of your craft stores, and just put a little bit of that on the end of it, and it'll keep it from fraying for you, if that's the look you like. And you can do that to your ribbons. You can burn the ends of your ribbons just with a lighter. If you want it just to be kind of at an angle, cut it at an angle. Be careful with your lighter, of course. And then I usually just take either the fray check or my lighter and just touch the ends. And that seals this kind of material. It will not seal like your cottony type materials. Of course, it'll probably just catch it on fire, so be careful with that. But these kind that have rayon in them, the ribbons that have rayon in them, you can just hit them with your lighter and it seals up your ends so they won't fray on you. Let's put a little slice on that one. Give it a little character, seal it up. You can see how it kind of melts. That's what you're wanting because that's going to give you a nice seal on that. Now, here's our other little wire that was hiding from us from the beginning. I'm going to snip that. Push that down in. Check. One more check on it. Now, keep in mind, guys, you can make some dangles for the ends if you want to. I just grabbed a couple of silver head pins, and let's see if this will go on the end. Oh yeah, that'll be cute. And then just whatever beads that you like to make a cute little dangle for your bracelet. Now you could also put tassels on the end if you like that. This is just a simple little dangle I'm gonna put on it. Maybe I'll put another rondelle in the middle of that. That metal will really look pretty. And then basically I'm just gonna take my one-step looper. Let me grab for it here. Whoops. To make the, you can do wrap loops, you can do your simple loop without your one-step looper as well, but I'm gonna take the one-step looper in here, and there's one of my dangles. Oop, that popped right off the end, didn't it, guys? Let's try another one. We need to put a little crystal on the end of that then. Let's get another head pin. So we're gonna put one of the brown crystals over the end first, so that'll hold our little flower spacer there. That actually looks prettier, doesn't it? See? Things happen for a reason. We will put our beads back on here. Like so. I think I'm gonna put a little crystal on top as well. There we go. It's very pretty. And go back in with our one-step looper. If you guys have not tried these yet, you really need to try them. The one-step loopers, they are just, for myself, I usually make wrap loops, and so for me, just to be able to grab this and move forward quickly, if I'm doing simple loops, makes it nice. Makes it nice for me. One more rondelle. We about cleaned up that bead mix, didn't we, guys? We have some more left there for some earrings, if you want to make some earrings to go with. But that did a really nice job on using those up. And again, we're going to just put this into the one-step looper, slide it across, squeeze. And then all we have left then to do is attach these to the loops on the end of your memory wire bracelet. So I'm just going to open that front to back. I'm going to see if this will fit around it. If it does not, we can always just attach it with a jump ring as well. Give it a go here. Ooh, come on. I do apologize, guys, if you see my hands shaking, and at any time I do have some health issues, so that is what you're seeing. Okay, let's grab some jump rings. That'll be just fine. I'm just gonna make sure these loops are closed before I attach my jump ring. Okay. And let's see. Grab a jump ring. Couple of those. and some pliers. Open that front to back. Attach your charm that you're going to put on. Hook that onto one loop. Close front to back here. Okay. And then on the other side, open up front to back on your jump ring. Put your charm on. Switch it to the other side where we were. And close it front to back. And that's it, guys. Clear my mat out here so you can actually see this. This was a super fun project to make, and I really like that I added these loops and these ribbons, this ribbon toward the end with the loops and the knots. I think it really made it special. So that is our bracelet, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for spending this time with me today, and thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one.